The Dow Jones is up over 400% from the great financial crisis. It's only 11% away. It's going to probably be similar behavior of what we saw with Bitcoin back in 2021, where even though the peak was coming in, the market was euphoric that we were going to 100K. So again, peaking over there at like the NDXT, or the Nasdaq 100 Technology Sector Index, to give you an idea how this is actually distribution that is happening in here for the NDXT. We can actually look to Bitcoin, right? So we know that Bitcoin came up shy of hitting its 4.236 extension for its market cap back in April and May of 2021. Proceeded with a 50% crash, at Elon Musk on Saturday Night Live, China banning Bitcoin mining, all that good stuff. Then Jack Dorsey, Elon Musk, and Cathie Wood have their little Zoom call for everybody, and we head back to the top, and then Bitcoin finally hits its 4.236 extension for its market cap. This is distribution. This is how you end up reaching those peaks. However, it's marked with incredible weakness. It does not have more strength as it goes on and sets that. It essentially sets a bearish divergence on much larger timeframes, which we'll be looking for should we end up getting this. But you can see over here on the NDXT, after having the ABC correction back to the support after the selling climax, boom, it has popped up to get out through the 702 retracement. Looking back to Bitcoin, right, same thing. Here's your selling climax. There's the resistance level that is placed in there. Gets back to the 702. ABC corrects back to the support on top of the selling climax. And then we go back through the 702 and then waffle around in here. So likely waffling around in here for a little while, but expectations, get that new high. And then just there's not much left. There's not much left in the Nasdaq. There's about 11% to hit the 4.236. There's about 11% left in the Dow Jones to hit the 4.236. And the Dow is, again, even that 11% where that 4.236 extension is, that's an equivalent run. That means from the great financial crisis to now, we have run up the equivalents of what we did during the Roaring Twenties before the Great Depression began. So keeping that in mind, right? So for me, it's like if I'm going to have any type of ideas on how price can go higher, I have to think to the bigger time frame of why it could. Well, it could if we are in distribution, right? If we're in distribution, we're going to go hit the 4.236 extension. That means this is end of cycle stuff. This is where retail buys the top, which is where retail thinks everything is great, and we're going to shoot up to the upside and keep going for forever. But it's where we're actually going to end up rolling over, and this is the final phase of distribution. So that would make sense to go set a new all-time high in that circumstance. And so it's one of those things where it's like super bearish, but the world views it as super bullish, and CNBC, Yahoo Finance, Bloomberg, everywhere will be reporting as brand new all-time highs. Let's go. But to understand that's not what this type of structure is. This is a distribution structure. And if we do end up getting the new all-time high, that I will be ultimate bear. I'll become the Michael Burry of of the world for a little while there to see what happens at those 4.236 extensions. And if we go beyond them, I will definitely not have a clear picture beyond that, because my conviction is quite strong. For an all-time high to happen right now in the United States stock market, it's in the event that we are actually in a distribution phase, which means you can get a new high, just like Bitcoin did, just like Ethereum did, but understanding where that is in this thing. So, could we go marching up in the stock market? That pushes Bitcoin up. It seems like it's possible. We know where we're at right now, but even in the event of following 2016, it's just retracements. I'm not going to change on that. You would have to have like a legitimate, full-fledged, massive break of the all-time high in the Dow Jones, getting beyond the 4.236 extension, likely for me to be convinced that Bitcoin's going to be going into a new all-time high. I think there's a viability for this to go up. But like I presented a long time ago, even in the early phases of this, showing like, even if we continued like this and shot up, I think we would just get into retracement levels, and then there wouldn't be that next leg where it takes it up into the all-time highs. So, all right, that's where we're at. The answer is still yet to be there. 2016, 2020, or ultimate super doomer. But I think the answer comes a lot from the United States stock market, and can it go set the new all-time highs? What we see in the NDXT is very similar to what happens when new all-time highs do come, and we do know that this phase was also the same phase that did happen in 2020 when we were in here. So big question, can it go? If it can go, this is going to be the mindset. Remember, there's going to be a lot of people who will not believe in this. Mindsets change, and sometimes it happens slow enough to where we don't recognize it, that all of your favorite content creators on Twitter and everywhere are like bulls now, right? But not remembering that just 1 month ago from right now, we're screaming for 12K, 23K, doomers, all that stuff. But 30 days passes, it's enough time for our short-term memories to forget all of it. And then now we're all super mega ball and we're going to 250K for Bitcoin. But this is going to be, in the event that we can get up in here for the NDXT and we can get up in here for the NASDAQ and we can get up here in the Dow, again, if you choose to continue watching this YouTube channel, we're going to be approaching it in the manner of, this is distribution. This is the final moment. This is the final fireworks of the United States stock market. And it's going to be a interesting ride ahead. So, happy Doom Tuesday. But I mean, it's like short term, okay, right? I mean, like, it could be really exciting for a minute, right?